Hello everyone, and welcome to our comprehensive overview of the Ketra D3 Downlight. The D3 is the workhorse of our Ketra portfolio, delivering an unrivaled experience for our customers in their homes. It offers all of the Ketra technical differences while also being flexible to the design and installation. Those technical differences include our dynamic spectrum, which really sets the experience apart in the home for natural light, natural dimming, and vibrancy. It's enabled by our high definition palette, creating a wide range of white light and also offering 16.7 million different colors. Our patented TrueBeam optics ensure the color is homogenized together perfectly and focused where it is needed. And then lastly, our color lock technology gives you the guarantee in the quality of light across all of the Ketra sources in the space. In this video, we're going to review the key specification features of the D3 Downlight. Then we're going to shift our focus and walk you through how to install or remove an emitter and power supply in the field. To start, let's take a look at the housing. The D3 is designed for new construction or major renovation projects. The housing is IC and wet rated, suitable for blown insulation. It's shallow with a depth of only 3.5 inches and able to be installed indoors or controlled outdoor environments. It can accommodate a variety of different designs like round or square, flanged, flangeless mud-in, or flangeless millwork. The D3 can do this due to its universal collar design, enabling you to easily switch between any of these, taking the worry out of any last-minute changes that may happen. Next, let's focus on the light engine and housing together. The D3 is available as a downlight, adjustable, or wall wash version. The difference between a downlight and adjustable version is the ability to install these deep bevel trims here. As you can see, this is actually twice the depth of a normal trim. If you're not using the deep bevel trim, you have the same capabilities as an adjustable. Those abilities are the high and low positioning of the emitter. You have 0 to 40 degrees of tilt inside and a full 364 degrees of rotation. The difference between a wall wash and adjustable version is that the tilt is locked at 20 degrees. You have this unique wall wash optic here with the additional reflector, and also the wall wash trim, which you can see has a slight tilt in the lens. There are 2 styles of modular emitter for the D3, 5 beam spreads and 2 optic styles. Those 5 beam spreads available are wall wash, 60, 40, 25, and a very narrow 15 degree. The optics are also available as a high output version and a low glare version. And you can see with the low glare, it has a slight tinting to it in order to reduce the glare. On top of the optic, you have the option of adding a hex louver or a Light or frosted lens to it as well. Let's focus on the trims. As you can see, we have a variety of different trims available for round or square, flanged, flangeless mud-in, or flangeless millwork. We also have 5 different color options. We also offer a paintable white version for that really truly custom finish. If you're mixing Lutron's overall ILS portfolio together in a project, the Fenari 3-inch and Prime offer these colors as well for a coordinated aesthetic throughout the whole project. Additional options for these trims are shallow or deep bevel like we discussed previously, wall wash, and pinhole in order to make the aperture even smaller in the ceiling. The last option with the trims is both a Light and frosted lens in order to make the D3 wet rated. Now, let's dive into a few more of these features. The D3 has a lot of flexibility built into it, which means it allows for a couple ways to order based upon your project needs. For starters, you can order the D3 as a complete unit where it includes the housing, emitter, power supply, collar, and trim shipped complete and fully assembled. If you are on a time crunch, however, you should look into ordering a rough-in housing only, with or without the collar. This means the emitter and power supply will not be included. This option is best for you if you have a tight timeline for the project. You can get the housings on the job site and wire them up, then order the collars later and attach them prior to the ceiling being installed. As you should know, lead times are kept up to date in my projects and the best source for knowing what to expect. The universal collar offers a couple different benefits. It allows for you to place the order earlier and worry about the ceiling finish later. The collar also allows for you to change them easily in case there are any last-minute changes in design of the room. There are 6 different collars available. Here, you have a flanged, round, or square version, and these are really easily identifiable because they have an extra lip on the collar that is actually the size of the trim to be installed at a later date. The lip is what the drywall will be cut to while the ceiling is being installed. You then also have the round and square flangeless collar. These are easily identified as they have a large round lip on the outer edges with a square shape on the inside with the rounded edge. This collar can actually be used for the round or square mud-in retainer. These mud-in retainers ship with the collars, and they're needed for the drywall contractor to be able to finish the ceiling. Lastly, we have the millwork collar, which installs so it is flush to the surface of the D3 housing. For example, this enables the contractor to install the wood ceiling, then cut the opening for the housing afterwards. After a hole has been cut, you then will be able to install the millwork retainer. However, note, the millwork retainer actually ships with the flangeless millwork trim. We have a modular emitter design, which will allow for easier field changes. We have 2 different modular emitters. The first is the standard modular emitter, which actually accommodates for wall wash, 60, 40, and 25 degree beam angles. We also have a specific spot modular emitter, which is utilized in order to deliver a 15 degree beam spread. There now will not be the pressure of being locked into a particular beam spread now, as you can swap between both the standard and spot emitters. Lastly, we will look at the power supply. One of the first things you will notice about the power supply is it does not have any loose wires on it. To attach the power supply to the electrical wiring, you will see there is an orange connector. This connector allows for safe assembly and is designed to ensure it is not plugged in incorrectly. Now, let's look at how you install both the emitter and power supply in the field. To best show you what it's like to work with the D3 when it's in the ceiling, we've mocked up this ceiling here for you. Once you're underneath the D3 and you have all the necessary supplies, you're ready to install the emitter and power supply. You'll start by installing the emitter. Take the emitter cord and feed it through the notch in the heatsink and place the emitter in the cradle. Attach the emitter with the 4 screws provided. Next, you're going to disengage both the tilt and rotation locks by locating the red tabs in the housing. This will allow for you to rotate and tilt the emitter as needed. You'll need to tilt the light engine to a full 40 degrees and potentially rotate the emitter depending on where the connector is. You will need to locate the orange connector inside of the housing and the emitter cable with the RJ45 connection. Sometimes the best way to locate this is to shine a light inside of the housing. You will then connect them by firmly pressing them together. You can now connect the emitter to the emitter port. Push the power supply into the opening towards the edge of the D3 housing where the orange connector is coming from. And you will hear or feel a click. This means the power supply is correctly installed and fully seated in the housing. Position the light engine where you would like the light to be pointed and install the trim back in place. And now you're finished. Thank you for watching our deep dive into the Ketra D3. We hope you enjoyed seeing the full feature set of the D3 and what capabilities it has. The combination of these features make it an ideal solution for any project. Thank you for your business in choosing Lutron's intelligent lighting solutions.